Hi everyone and welcome to the midweek shave, to the Wednesday shave. How are you doing personally? I hope you're okay, good health, good shaves and having a good start to the week, midweek. We're heading to Australia for this shave and a big thanks to John, if you're watching, who sent me a few products to try, and the first one is this beauty, and it's a double-edged safety razor, but it's come from the Shavershop, and I don't know if it has a name, but that's the Shavershop double-edged safety razor. not sure if this model has a name, I can't see it. No, just the standard, I think, you know, Shavershop's DE Razor. By the looks of it, if you're from Australia, you'll know. One thing I am quite impressed, there's only a very slight overhang on the blade, and I'm using a brand new Persona Red. Never used this. I say it's very Edwin Jaggery, but I mean that base plate is very different to an Edwin Jagger. But you know, the build of it's roughly the same, or the exposure I should say. It's a non-adjustable razor, a good weight, diamond knurling on the handle, twist the bottom, comes out, there's the blade, and that's the inside. So we'll see what this is like. I'm going to, he's also sent me some shaving cream, crushed lime. I mean, that's enough for me. Batch number XL. Occams, Occams, however you say that. Natural artisan shave, made in Australia. Beautiful. So there we go. You may, I mean, have a look at this. Let's see the ingredients. You can see that. Pause the video if you. Look at that. I tell you, it smells very, there is a slight, very light green tint to it. Very smooth cream. There's a natural smell, like a foliage, you know, when you cut. I can't describe it. Well, I suppose it must be the lime or something in it that's crushed. Very limey, but there's a sort of naturally scent to it. And I'm using a Paul H. Films brush. Beautiful. Even though that says 007 Vauxhall, it also says hot and spicy, and it also says Paul H. Films. Taking care of everything, or as Elvis said, taking TCB, take care of business. Right, there's the cream. Really very quick. Didn't bloom it, obviously, just put some in the bowl. I did soak the brush for about 20 minutes, and badger knot I should say, and look at that, peaked to perfection. Now before I do that, I'm not expecting this to be an aggressive razor, but like I say, never judge anything till you've used it, because you never know. So I'm going to go with a True Fit and Hill pre-shave oil. Only need a couple of drops, and this is citrusy. Oh yeah. So how's your week been? How's your shaves going? How's work going? How's the weather? Are you having good food? Have you got good company? Because I have. You lot. Oh, before we start, no, I didn't nearly forget, even though I did. Let's take a look at them beauties. There you go, there's the flowers, and pre-shave done. Don't always do a pre-shave, but you can never have too much of anything when it comes to shaving and layers and things like that. So let's get going. What do you think? That's what it smells of lime. It's easy to lather up. Very, very thick. I love this. I will, don't worry, you water heads, I will put more water on. God, blimey, eating the damn thing. So what do we think? The lime scent, it's not the strongest I've smelt, but it's there. But there's a very natural smell to this, if that makes sense. A very natural scent. Nice too. Really good lather. Look at that. In no time at all. So we'll see how good this performs. Occams or Occams, made in Australia. Crushed lime and Shavershop razor, double-edged razor, non-adjustable. Very impressed with the lack of overhang. That's good. Good weight to it. It is hollow, but it's a good heavy razor, so we'll see how it goes. First time of use. Are we ready? Yeah. Even the cats. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. That's a nice let me try that. Good audio feedback. It's slightly more aggressive than what I expected, in a good way. The strange thing is, I compared the nearest razor I can I know people I don't compare razors. This razor is its own, but I know people say, well, what would you say it's like? Well, the nearest I've got to it is the Merkur 34C. As you can see, the two heads are similar, as are the base plates, but the Merkur is a flatter, a wider base plate. See that? Where the blade sits here. But, again, focus. This one is a shorter one, so if I show you side by side, hopefully you can see this. Side by side, the Merkur is wider and the Australian one is narrower, if you like. There's less of this, but they're similar. The Merkur is much shorter, obviously, or not obviously, but good razor. That's the nearest I've got. It's roughly, let me have a go, similar in aggression as well, for me personally. It feels slightly more aggressive than the Edwin Jagger DE89 for me, but I can't judge that on the razor. That could be the blade making it feel that way. You know, if I used another blade it might not feel as aggressive or something like that, so you can't judge straight away a razor's aggression or compare it to another razor unless it's outstandingly aggressive. But you can feel the blade on this more so than I thought. It's very deceiving. That's why I never go hands in and, oh, it's not aggressive this. You've got to use it. Never judge a book by its cover. And very pleasant. Yeah, that's nice. Like I say, I think it is a natural soap, is this? Natural artisan shave. Handcrafted using traditional techniques. Well, as I say, the scent is there, but it's not strong. But just listen to that, it's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, I caught that then, see that? knock into us, damn it. And this is what I say when you're filming, some people would cut now. Stop the film, stop the video. Now this is going to hurt. Cyclic pencil, I'll part on because it broke. Right, that'll do. It might bleed a bit, but I'm going to carry on. Brush is molting as well. Everything's happening here. But this is what happens, you know, just because there's a camera there. There's no take two with a shave video, I'm afraid. And as I say, some people may cut out all this bit, but it's what happens. It's as it is. It's coming at you live. Well, not live, but right, I'm going to dip this under the tap just slightly. Oh yeah, look at that explosion. Still thick. Dip it again, a bit more. Right, we're going to have pink. Well, maybe not. Yeah, as I was saying before, I caught my chin. It's a mild lime scent for me. It's there, but it's a nice soap. It's a very, very luxurious, slick soap. Very, very thick, lathers very quickly, and you don't need a lot of it. Performance is superb. So we'll go across the growth. It's a bit of a beast this, isn't it? See, they bite if you take no notice of your lack of concentration. It'll give you a bit of a jab. It'll bite you and say, "Hey, concentrate." Sorry. But where you're ahead of me is you're not obviously talking, are you? Well, unless you talk to yourself like I do. Things like, oh, I've got to put the bins on. And oh, I need more beer in the fridge. I fancy a steak tonight. Sirloin steak, fried onions, or maybe a fillet steak. Steak fillet. Fried onions. And on top, and some peppercorn sauce. Look at this. I tell you what. This little thing is more aggressive than you think. It does, the blade, yeah, beats the Edwin Jagger, and it's more aggressive than the Merca 34C as well, even though it looks similar, and hopefully that will come across as when you try. Look, even that, oh, is that blood from the, oh. Sometimes you'll look at a razor, especially if you've got a few razors and you use a few razors and you have an idea, you think, oh, that looks like the Edwin Jagger, or that looks like the Mular 41. And then you go to, if you go to shave thinking of that, you're shocked like I was then. So I tend to use a razor, it may look like this or look like that, but I never judge it, as you can tell, because it's it'll shock you. That's a nice surprise, that. Good audio feedback. That blade works well, it gives it a good aggression. It does, you can feel the blade, so there is an aggression there. Well, at least I bleed, I'm alive. Let's have it pink. This brush is beautiful. It holds so much soap. There's hardly ever any need to go back to this, but I will. This is really, let me go and whack a load of water. It explodes. It does like, this soap looks like it does like a drink. So if you like your lather quite wet, you know, it does like a drink. It's a bit thirsty. Well, especially a badger brush does absorb more than a boar or a synthetic, but and it depends on the size of your brush knot as well, all sort of aspects of it, but it does like a bit of a drink, but it's good stuff. Right. Look at that. Nice change in it. Look at that. Red and white. Good mix of colour there. It's a nice aggression, this. Nice aggression. I think this will be good for any new people. You'll be thinking, oh, I'm not doing that. Look at it, look at this. It looks worse than it is. It doesn't, that looks worse than what it is. It's only a, you know, little nick, but I've left it. That's how it is. That's how I shave if I do nick myself. I just, in fact, we'll go back with it. There you go. It'll only hurt the alum, or the Styptic pencil will only hurt on the first application. If you apply it after that, it shouldn't hurt. Or reapplication, I should say, won't hurt. Or not as much. Really nice. This actually reminds me of seeing these little red dots here and there, and reminds me of my dad, and he'd go out with cigarette papers or toilet tissue, but normally cigarette papers, and go off and everybody be the same. Alright. Listen to that. I am lifting the razor slightly to make it light, especially on this area. See that? Now you might think, oh, you're shaving over the cut bit. You can see how small that cut is. Just there. Now let's try the slickness on this before I do the moustache area. Yeah, there is a good, there is a slickness. It's not the best. It doesn't last as long as some of the ones I've used, but it's there. There is a slickness there. So, but yeah, hear that? That's a sign when the slickness is gone. So it is there, but you can only, it soon goes. Once you've sort of passed over once or twice, that's it, the slickness is gone. Whereas some other creams do last longer, you know, do stick to the skin, in my experience. So start on the side and turn, and that normally helps the pluckiness or the sensitivity. If you have a sensitive moustache area, start on the side, even though it's against the growth, and turn gradually. Turn gradually. There you go. Yeah, lovely. See, they stop bleeding now. So there's no need to panic. It's not in DE shaving or any type, well, except maybe, well, I suppose any type of shaving in a way, but in particular this shaving, DE, open blades, it's not if you cut yourself, it's when you cut yourself. I tell you, this has taken off. There's not a lot there in pickups. It's a good razor. Good soap. When you've got the lather, it lathers very quickly, very luxuriously, nice and thick. You can have it as wet. It likes a bit of water if you like it wet. If you like it thick and creamy, as I normally do, you'd be in your glory. You wouldn't have to do much at all to it. But if you like it wetter, you'd have to keep going to the tap and, you know, bringing it out, and it works well. So it does like a drink. The lime scent is there, but it's not strong. The soap, as I say, lathers quickly. It does a good job during the shave, protects the face. Slickness, once the soap has gone, if you wet the face, as I always do, there is a slickness there, but after a couple of passes it's gone, so it doesn't last, the slickness, but it's a good soap. Right, we'll rinse off. Yeah, get in the scent of lime now. Right, I'm going to wet. I'm not going to use Thayer's, I'm using the alum. So this should give me a good bit of feedback today. Nothing there. Slight tingle there. Slight there. Tingle, tingle, but nothing. Slight bit on the moustache. Just a bit on the chin. And that's it. So let that sort that out. So I'll just rinse the face again. Warm water. And the thing with alum, if you've got a good slick soap or not, that will take it away. I smell old spice on this. Nice. Right then. Okay. Right. That's lovely. Now, oh, you swine, the red mixing bowl nearly went then. Lime. The first thing I could see, Crabtree and Evelyn. If you can see that, West Indian lime cologne. Now this will be stronger. Oh yeah. See, hang on. What do you think? Oh, go on then, put your hand out. Yeah, you ready? Right. There you go. I didn't waste that then, and my hand was there. So I'm not mad. Oh, that, hey, come on, come on, come on. Breathe in through your nose, breathe in through your nose. Nice. Superb. That is nice. Whew. I haven't used it for a while. And then we're going to put Bulldog Sensitive Aftershave Balm. bit on the old expensive side, this. But there again, it is good stuff. But the trouble is, if I was in the supermarket and I wanted moisture cream, I would buy the Nivea Blue Men, because that's roughly £3 for a tin, and this is about £4 or £5, I think. It's gone up. Never used to be like that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you can't beat it. So what? You see, nothing to worry about. You could go to work now, nobody'd know you'd cut yourself. But in the beginning, so you want a styptic pencil, and that helps a bit. But it does bleed a bit after. It depends how deep you've cut yourself or how. But I felt that. Ooh, and you know, as soon as you've done it, right then. So what we've used the Shavershop DE Razor, non-adjustable, heavy. It's not short, it's on the long, I'd say the long handle, because that's the Merca 34, so it's just slightly longer, so I'd say it's a longer long handle. Diamond knurling, even though it's hollow, it's a good weight to it, well built, good quality. Twist the bottom, take the head and the base plate, well, the base plate stays. But a good razor. Doesn't look aggressive, but it ended up being more aggressive than I thought. There was a good bite to that edge when I was using it, and I'm very impressed with the lack of overhang. Really nice. You can feel a slight one, but very, very little. Good razor, and this blade worked well for me. Persona Red, really nice. But before I did all that, I used the True Fit and Hill pre-shave oil, and that's very orange limey. What would you say? I can't remember if it's orange. Yeah, orangey zest, lovely. Good quality, goes straight in the beard, in the skin, doesn't leave a greasy sort of slickness with it. I mean, some I've said it before, some of the cheap oils, the pound or dollar shaving oils, not very, they're okay, but they're very oily. It's like using 3-in-1 oil on your face, WD-40. And the trouble with that is, too slick, and the blade and the razor will slide over the beard, and that's when accidents can happen as well. It's not but anyway, good stuff. And now we've used the Occams or Occams Australian crushed lime shave cream, made in Australia. Good stuff. Lathers quickly. Good quality. Good protection during the shave. A mild scent of lime I could get from it, but it seems a natural soap, so that might be the reason for that. I don't know, but it's a good soap, but the slickness does not last. Once it's gone, that is it. Which isn't a bad thing. You shouldn't shave without soap anyway, but that's how I see how slick soaps are. But it's a good soap, but the slickness doesn't last and the scent is mild. Then rinsed off, and we used this little, well, not little, this alum. It's a good one. Alum block. Paul H. Films Badger brush. Good brush. Red mixing bowl. Oh, excuse me. And the Crabtree and Evelyn West Indian Limes Cologne spray, and that's beautiful. In fact, we'll have a bit of a Mrs. H likes the sandalwood version of this. That's why I haven't got it, because it's in someone's handbag. Mention no names. Right, and then to put the protection back in, we've used the Bulldog Sensitive Aftershave Balm. And very happy with that. Do I look like Freddy Krueger's at a go? No. So all good things do come to an end. And what looked like a bit of a massacre, maybe to a newbie, don't worry about it. It's not as painful as it looks. It will happen. It's how you deal with it. Don't panic. You get little things like a septic pen. You can buy them in most like Savers or Boots the Chemist. I'm not sure if they do them now, but places like Home Bargains and Savers in the UK, Wilkinson's, places like that tend to do them for some reason, and privately owned chemists normally, but they're good. That is it. Are you happy? Are you glad you tuned in? I hope the answer is yeah. Thanks very much anyway for watching, and thanks again to John from Australia for sending those. Sent them before Christmas, and looking forward to using them. Not disappointed either. Really good. So very much appreciated that. And yeah, so that's it. Have a great rest of the week. Have some fantastic shaves. Hope the week goes well. Hope it goes quick for you so the weekend comes. And yeah, you just take care of yourself, and I'll see you on Sunday for the weekend shave. Take care.